Hello. So this is diary entry number 2, the diary that I'm now calling the CoronaDiary, which is something I wish I'd thought of before I put the first one out. But anyway, that's what I'm going to call it now. It's Monday. I'm not in work. It's currently nearly 11 o'clock, which is strange because I should have been in work a long time ago. So instead, what I did this morning was I woke up and I did Joe Wick's body workout, his PE lesson, live on YouTube, which was really good, actually. Obviously, we knew it would be because Joe he's brilliant, isn't he? But I felt really, really good afterwards, so I'm going to carry on doing that, I think, every day, if I can, on top of what I've already decided to do. So so I enjoyed that. A bit bizarre, I'll be honest. Obviously it's sort of aimed at kids as well, but I think my neighbour downstairs, because I live in a flat, an apartment if you will, I think he probably got woken up when I was being a kangaroo, which is not something I expected would happen today, but there you go. 800,000 people tuned in, which is just insane. And actually, in terms of the number of people taking part, it's likely to be a lot more than that, because that's 800,000 viewers. But of course, some of those viewers will have been groups of people or families, so millions probably, which is amazing. So that was good. So I enjoyed that. Plans today are a bit difficult because, as I said, it's nearly 11 o'clock and I've got to sort of fill a day now. So I'm trying to keep myself busy. I'm going to find out today what happens for the rest of this week and beyond in terms of working. As I mentioned in an earlier video, for those that don't know, that I'm a teacher, and up to this point, don't really know what I'm going to be working, how many days, when I've got to go in and what that looks like. Obviously I can still do a certain amount from home, but yeah, very uncertain. So I'm hoping we'll get some clarity on that today. That'd be good. I've made a bit of a pact with myself that these diaries are not just going to be like the doom and gloom, everything is awful type rants. I don't want it to be that. There's enough negativity out there, isn't there? So I'm going to ban the C word. Not that C, well, both C words, not the one you're thinking of. But what is interesting is the amount of backlash there has been overnight, or sort of from yesterday, on social media about people going out. And we've been told, well, I thought anyway, we'd been told that you were encouraged to go outside, but of course there's limits to that, and in terms of social distancing, we're not supposed to be mixing with people. But there's people climbing mountains, like Penyvan in Wales, not far from me. People going to parks and basically just being too close to each other. And I think yesterday was a big lesson for the country in terms of what is acceptable. And whether some people think maybe it wasn't clear enough. I certainly didn't think there was an issue with going to a park as long as you kept distance. But I suppose if everyone has that same idea, you can't keep a distance, you can't keep that safe distance. So I think that'll put a lot of people off even trying it from now on. Yesterday I admit I went out, but I didn't go out in that sense. I went for a drive because I just couldn't stay in the house all day. It's not me at all. I don't do that. So I thought I'll go for a drive. That's quite safe, I think, unless somebody's going to tell me otherwise. And what I was interested to see was that, well, more interesting about me, I suppose, I started judging people who were out. And you never, I drive all the time. There probably isn't a day in my life where I don't drive somewhere. And at no point have I ever really sat at traffic lights, for example, and wondered where all the other cars around me are going. Unless somebody particularly stands out, I'd never really questioned what they're doing. And yet, yesterday, I was sat in the lightest traffic I've probably ever been in on a Sunday, and still wondering why there were 3 cars around me, which is so hypocritical, because obviously I was out. But you do start really questioning, what are people doing? Where are they going? You know? Obviously, yesterday was Mother's Day, so I imagine a lot of people didn't get to see mothers, but maybe some people did. But yeah, you also question what people are doing on foot. There was people walking up and down the streets as I was driving, and you think, well, where are you going? What are you doing out? But one thing I have noticed, as much as I'm noticing more the people who are there, there's a particular group of people who aren't there, and that is kids hanging round on my street corner. One silver lining so far, anyway, is that children, teenagers, are not hanging around on the street corner. Where are they? I doubt they're inside, because I've seen them walking up and down the street, but they're not standing around on the corner anymore, unless they're socially distancing and they've spread themselves among many street corners, which is possible. I don't think that works quite the same way. Maybe they're being responsible. But yes, so less kids hanging around. They're definitely still out, because I've seen them walk past, but they're not hanging around anymore. But yeah, very, very judgy is what I've become, apparently, in the last 48 hours. So that's really it today. As I said, not really sure what I'm going to do today. I'll fill my day with something, and I will speak to you, which is weird because you won't speak to me. That's not a conversation, is it? I will speak at you tomorrow. Bye.